All right, let's break down the latest earnings from Zscaler, a company that is right at the heart of cloud security. We need to dive into this because what their numbers show us isn't just about one good quarter. It's about a massive shift in how the world's biggest companies are protecting themselves for a future that's all about AI.
And the very first number you have to see is this one right here. Zscaler just smashed through the $3 billion mark in annual recurring revenue. We call that ARR. I mean, this is a huge milestone. They are one of only two pure-play SaaS security companies to ever hit that number. That just screams momentum and, a ton of trust from the market.
And look, this wasn't just a case of hitting a target. This was a total blowout. They didn't just meet expectations, they shattered them. Revenue, profit, earnings per share, you name it. They beat their own forecast. It's just a crystal clear sign that the hunger for their platform is way, way stronger than even they thought.
So the big question is, how in the world did they pull this off? Let's get into the weeds a bit and look at the performance that fueled such an incredible quarter.
Okay, so just take a look at this breakdown. They guided for revenue around $706 million, but came in at $719 million. For operating profit, they projected maybe $154 million, and boom, they hit $159 million. And earnings per share? They beat the high end of their own guidance by 9 cents. These are not small rounding errors. This is a clear, consistent pattern of overperformance. It really shows a company that is just firing on all cylinders.
Now, to really appreciate the quality of this growth, we got to talk about something called the Rule of 50. You've probably heard of the Rule of 40, right? Which is already a super high bar for software companies. Well, the Rule of 50, that's a whole other stratosphere. It's for the absolute best of the best, the companies who can balance that crazy growth with serious profitability.
And there you have it. For the whole fiscal year, Zscaler hit the Rule of 50 right on the nose. You've got 23% revenue growth combined with a 27% free cash flow margin. See, this isn't just growth for the sake of growth. This is smart, efficient, sustainable growth. It puts them in a very, very exclusive club.
So what's the actual strategy making these numbers happen? Well, it really boils down to three really powerful, interconnected growth engines. Let's break each one down. So here they are, the three pillars: AI security, zero trust everywhere, and data security everywhere. And get this, when you combine these three things, they already make up a billion-dollar business inside of Zscaler. And as a group, they're growing even faster than the company as a whole. Wild. First up is AI security. And we are talking about a just mind-blowing 3,500% increase in AI and machine learning transactions on their cloud in just the last year alone. Zscaler is basically putting itself in the perfect position to secure all of that traffic, everything from your employees using ChatGPT to huge companies building their own private AI models.
The second engine is zero trust everywhere. This is really the heart and soul of their whole philosophy. Instead of the old castle and moat idea, where you trust everyone inside the walls, zero trust says, nope, we trust no one by default. It's all about securing the direct connection between a user, a device, and an application, no matter where in the world they are.
And the CEO, Jay Chaudhry, he puts it pretty bluntly. He says the old way of doing things, just relying on these big network firewalls, it's fundamentally broken. It's just not compatible with modern security. If you want real zero trust, you have to move beyond those old legacy boxes.
And the third engine is data security everywhere. This one's all about replacing a whole bunch of separate, clunky tools with one single, unified platform that protects a company's most precious asset, its data. And this business unit isn't some tiny startup idea. It's already scaled to about $425 million in annual revenue.
Okay, so that's the strategy on paper. But what does this actually look like in the real world? How are actual companies using this stuff to solve some of their biggest problems?
Well, let's kick things off with a record breaker. Just last quarter, Zscaler signed its single biggest deal ever for securing branch offices.
And this one deal is really part of a much bigger trend. The company now has over 350 enterprise customers using this Zero Trust branch solution. They're seeing this huge demand from companies who just want to throw out their complex firewalls and make their branch offices as simple and secure to use as like a coffee shop Wi-Fi network. And this specific deal just perfectly captures the scale we're talking about. It was with a major university, and they were securing 150,000 devices. I mean, think about it. Student laptops, servers, lab equipment, all of it, across more than 400 different locations. This was a massive 7-figure win that let them rip out a whole mess of outdated security products.
And here's another great one. A huge global 2000 manufacturer secured over 120 of its plants. Now, this is critical stuff. We're talking about protecting the operational technology, the systems that run the factories. By swapping out their old firewalls and SD-WAN, not only did they get way better security, but they're expecting to see cost savings of more than 60%. That's huge.
So with such a killer year in the rearview mirror, everyone's eyes are now on what's next. What does the road ahead actually look like for Zscaler?
Well, their guidance for the next fiscal year shows they are feeling very confident. They're projecting their ARR to get close to $3.7 billion. And what this tells me is they see these powerful trends that are pushing their business forward. Zero Trust and AI, not just continuing, but actually picking up speed.
And a huge piece of that future is this idea they call agentic operations. So on one side, you have the IT folks. It's about using AI to automatically fix performance issues. But on the security side, it's even more ambitious. They just bought a company called Red Canary, and they're using its AI technology to build a next-gen security operations center, a SOC, that can automatically hunt for threats and even predict where a breach might happen next.
So when you boil it all down, what's the key takeaway here? Zscaler is making a huge bet that security is no longer just about blocking bad stuff. It's about enabling businesses to move faster, to adopt these powerful new technologies like AI, and to do it safely. They're positioning themselves to be the essential, must-have platform for this whole new era.
Which really leaves us with one final and kind of fascinating question. We are moving into a world where AI agents are going to be talking to other AI agents all the time to get work done. But who's going to secure those conversations? Well, Zscaler's betting the answer is them.